Faggot, 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 nigger, nigger.
All right, guys, tap away. Let's get it up to 10,000 likes. Share the live, please. Sick as fuck, guys. I slept the entire day. Like, I felt great this morning's live. Just absolutely great. Then I got off, and that's it. No more feeling good. I'm okay, yes. I'm just angry about the situation that people are putting trans people through.
Thank you for the head and mustache. How you doing, Chase Hobbs?
Good, how you doing?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
User telling me you was a woman?
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Chase, 26. Fantastic. What year were you born?
97.
Okay, fantastic. Are trans identities valid?
What the fuck is a trans identity?
I am a transgender woman. Am I valid as a woman?
Coward.
Hello, Janet.
Hi,
How old are you, please?
I'm 19,
Fantastic. What year were you born?
2004.
Fantastic. And are trans identities valid?
No, because you're not a woman.
Okay, are you aware that what you just said does immense harm to completely and totally innocent people?
Nobody is saying that you can identify however you want, but you can't expect everybody else to validate that for you.
Okay, are you aware that invalidating trans identities does immense damage to innocent people?
How are you a woman?
Not what I asked.
What is a woman?
Not what I asked.
Are you a female?
Not what I asked.
What harm does it do?
Yeah, what? Are you aware? What harm does it do? Okay, so when you invalidate trans people, it causes us to feel alone, it causes us to feel broken, causes us to isolate from society. It absolutely takes an immense toll for absolutely no reason. I don't even give a fuck if you don't believe that we're valid. You should outwardly validate us anyways. Because it gains you nothing by invalidating us, and it costs us everything.
But I thought if that the whole reason, the whole point of changing that identity, of transitioning, was to be happy. So it doesn't make sense. In the
Yeah, and
first, and so
people like
first
you,
people
Janet,
are
make it
saying,
hard for us to be happy.
well, I'm not over here like every day like ever do I ever say anything bad to anybody who is a trans person, a trans individual. I feel
You
like
just came up here and said that trans identities are not valid.
it's the trans people that push it on to everybody else. I have never seen anybody just like walking around hating on trans people. Never.
Great, so your head's in the sand. Got it.
I see trans people always trying to push it on everybody else, like getting in women's spaces and things like that. Like, I think like you can identify
Yeah,
however
that's
you
what we're now.
want.
We're back to you invalidating trans identities because trans people belong in the spaces of our identities, and you're not letting us in those spaces, and that does immeasurable harm. Why are you okay harming innocent people?
Why are you okay with harming
Biological women? Yeah,
biological
give me an
women?
example of trans people causing any harm to cis people. Give me an example.
Sure. Okay, so there's this a lot of trans athletes that win competitions, like Leah Thomas. I mean, even the Miss Netherlands who won, and she's a trans woman. and
Oh no, trans
she's
people won
taking
sports. Oh no, how
they're
terrible.
taking spots of real women, like of biological women. To
Here we
to
go
say
again,
that
yet again with the invalidation. I've already told you several times how much harm that causes, and you just don't care.
the harm is also caused for a lot of biological women.
Yeah, and all you've been able to come up with is some cis women didn't win a sport. Oh no.
Right, because right. Let's look at Leah Thomas, who won. She
Yes, you won.
or
Oh
he
no.
slash she, this
He
individual
slash she.
in
Fuck you, Janet. Goodbye.
in
Thank you for the glasses.
Oh, good morning.
Hello, Haley.
Oh,
Hello, Abby. Hello, Lyric. How's it going?
good, good. As you could tell by my voice, I am not sounding like death rolled over on me because of COVID.
I feel like death rolled over on me right now.
I'm sorry about that, but can I just say that I love when you are sassy. You are great. You're a
Thanks.
10 out of 10.
Thanks. I thought about going live on my backup just in case, but I'm gonna reel it in. Not too much. Spicy Adores here for this live, but I'm
I'm here
gonna
for it.
gotta make sure to avoid any
Mm-hmm.
community guidelines violations. Okay.
And
Now I
thank
have
you,
no internet
everyone.
connection.
Yes,
There we
I'm
go.
okay.
We got a lot of people requesting. This person's not here.
I can see them, Courtney. Oh, never mind.
I'm gonna try to avoid swearing next time.
Hi guys,
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I am 31. My birthday's the 28th of the 12th, 1991, 3 days after Christmas. I would just like to start off with saying you can be who you want to be, but it's the woman's spaces I have an issue with. As a biological woman, I don't want anybody that was not born female in my space.
Are trans people valid?
I'm no trans, and I don't think they should have everybody else to validate them. I think I've not got an issue with trans men, it's trans women I have the issue with because they're the one that want in biological women's spaces and I'm uncomfortable with that, but they don't care.
Wow.
So be
Wow.
who you want to be, but it's the spaces for me. If you didn't fight to get into women's
Stop.
spaces, then there would be no issue.
Stop. Stop. Are trans identities valid?
I mean, you can call yourself a toaster or a microwave, you can call yourself whatever you want, it doesn't mean that's what you are.
Read between the lines. I'll ask again. Are trans identities valid?
Well, if I've not got an issue with trans people, they can call themselves what they want, but it doesn't make them that.
Okay, so you're invalidating trans people. Are you aware of how much
No.
immeasurable
I'm not
harm
there to
that
validate them or
does?
invalidate them. I'm going to call them by their name. I don't need to call a man in a dress a woman. I don't need to call vice versa. I will call them by
Are
their
you
name.
so? Are you
Respectfully.
aware of how much harm what you're saying does? How much harm? Are you
We're
okay
aware how
doing this
much
much harm?
harm
Yeah.
with trans women being in a women's space when women feel uncomfortable, when real biological
Oh
women feel
no, you're a little bit
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. I'm sorry. The things that you do literally cost us our lives.
Do you not realize
That
that
I've not cost anybody in their life.
hold on, you saying real biological women is like does not make sense because we are all biological because we're living,
Yes, but
breathing.
trans women are biological male.
Do you know the difference between sex and gender?
I'm not interested
Gender
in educating
is
right now. I'm not gonna lie. I want to know.
your identity.
Are you aware of how much harm you do?
I don't
Are you
really
aware
care
of how
because I
much
think
harm
you're getting
you are
validated.
doing by invalidating trans identities?
But who am I to validate them? Why should everybody bow down and validate them and let them in the spaces?
Why
If
should
these
you?
only fight
Because it's
spaces
beneficial.
that people
Because validating us makes us feel good, makes us feel accepted. Invalidating us causes us to isolate, causes significant depression, causes
right, but
significant self-unaliving ideation.
see if you fought for your own toilets, then there would be no issue. Like I don't care if somebody wants to call themselves a woman or a man or whatever
No,
they want
what
to
you
call
don't care
themselves.
about is trans people. That's what you don't care about.
No, what I don't care about is trans women, no trans men. I've not got an
You're
issue with trans
saying
men.
so.
I've got
Hold
So,
up.
do you know trans men are also fighting to have spaces, but not as much because there's women out there like you, hateful
well, I've
and
not
do
seen them
not care
fighting.
about people's lives? Do you not realize that what you say causes harm and can cause someone to unalive themselves?
I know, but
Do
do
you
you
not
not
care
realise
about
we're
that?
fighting to get enough spaces? There's a lot of women that are intimidated by men, and
Oh,
let's face
boo
it,
hoo,
trans
cry
women
a
are
river. They're
biological
not
men.
men. They're not men.
But they are.
Trans women are women. Trans
But they're
men
no,
are
and they never
men.
will be. No, they're no.
Can I just add to that too and say that the problem I have is every time someone comes in and says, I don't have a problem with trans women, but, and then they start going on this tirade of like, all the reasons why they don't like us. So
What would
it's
it
like,
cost you? Sorry, Haley.
I was just wrapping that up. I was just saying I just have a problem when people say that they don't have a problem and then start listing all their problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What would it cost you to validate us? Like for real? Like how would your life be worse for validating trans identities?
When trans women stop trying to get into my women's only spaces, then that's fine. But until then no.
Okay,
We've been in your
so
spaces your entire life, whether you like it or not.
Right,
But
but there's a
I
lot
got
of
news for
they've
you.
been
I got
since
news for you. Trans people being in your spaces is not causing you any harm at
but
all.
it is
None.
causing me
guess
harm, and it's
what?
None.
Guess
causing
what?
me
No harm
Wait,
at
mental
all.
and physical
wait.
pain.
None.
Yes, it
How old
is.
are you again? How old are you?
31. No, I've
Do
not
you
got a
not realize
problem,
that
right, with
31,
people.
hold on, 31 years of your life, you have gone to the restroom with trans women. You only cared and started to, quote unquote, start to notice them about 4 years ago?
I
Do you
started
know that?
noticing because there's a lot of people that are not the ones that are not passing trans, and they look like men
Yeah,
who've got
they
beards that come
still
into
have
spaces.
used
That's
the
the issue.
restroom for 31 years alongside you, used it with your mother, your grandmother.
And that's
Trans
fine if
women
they're a
have
passing
existed
trans
for
person.
years.
But
No,
it's
Hold
the
up.
not just
self-ID and the
passing.
ones that aren't really trans that just put on a dress and go, I'm a woman. They've had no surgery, that they've got a beard and they're coming into our
How do
spaces.
you know
That's the
them?
issue.
How do you know them personally? Do you
But,
investigate every single trans person that you see
no, but like
and
if somebody walks
automatically
in the
know?
bathroom
I'm
and I
talking,
know,
and automatically know that they are quote unquote real or not?
well, if they look like a man, then aye.
Hold up.
Oh, wow.
Can I ask you what is the imminent threat that you are afraid of someone that is, as opposed to someone that's passing and not passing? What
Right.
someone that's not passing isn't that's not increasing or that's not increasing the risk factor just because they
But
don't pass.
it'll bring me mental pain if I walk in and I see a man that's pretending to be a woman. That is going to like upset me straight away. Like
No
that
one's,
is going to get my back up.
no
Okay,
one's
but trans
pretending.
people are not pretending anything. We are who we say we are, and us accessing the spaces of our identities literally costs you nothing. So why are you so insistent on invalidating us? What are you gaining by
Because
invalidating
they fight
us?
with the toilet. If they actually fought for their own toilets and didn't come in women's spaces, then that would be fine.
Boy,
I don't
your
know how many more
rhetoric,
The
times I have to tell you.
bathrooms.
It costs you nothing by us having access to the spaces of our identity. It costs you
But it costs
literally
you nothing to have
nothing.
respect
And
for
you trying to
biological women and
you
stay
trying
in
to keep us out of
spaces.
your spaces, you trying to keep us out of your spaces literally costs us everything.
Yes, because you're not women. You're
boy,
not a
I've
woman.
been legislated out of a restroom, and I'm going to throw my
You're a man
passing
that's got a
privilege around.
plastic
No,
fan
no, no,
that
no.
pretends
Whether
to be a
I
woman.
get no, your rhetoric has led to a situation where whether I pass or not, if I get caught in that women's restroom by somebody who either clocks me or has previous knowledge of me, I am now a law-breaking citizen. Do you understand that? Do you understand that I have never been a law-breaking citizen when it comes to using the restroom in my life. But now, as of this month, I will be legally breaking the law if I use a women's restroom and I pass. So your argument of passing privilege does not apply, because once you start enforcing this rhetoric, you are forcing passing trans women out of the restrooms as well. You don't care about passing. You don't care about clocking. What you care about is that there are no trans women who get to use the restroom. That
No,
is
what
what
I
you want.
care about is there's no
I don't
biological
care.
male
No, I do
that
not
get to use the
care for
bathroom.
your thinly veiled transphobia. You cannot slap a pretty sticker on an ugly opinion.
Nope.
I am
And
not
what
Were you saying
transphobic. I
causes
said
harm? You've been
males
made
in
aware
the
of that now,
bathroom.
and you have stood fast in your opinion. So
Oh no, I stick
yeah,
by my opinion. I 100% stick by my opinion. I want safe
right.
spaces for
Because you
women.
don't care about trans people. You are okay with trans people
No, because I
suffering.
don't care
You are
about
okay.
man's
You are okay
feelings.
with the astronomically high self-unaliving ideation rate. None of this bothers you. None of this is a deal breaker
I never
to you.
said none
So
it
long
bothered
as you
me. You
feel
just
comfortable in
assumed.
your little bathroom.
You just
can I
assumed. I should feel comfortable. Why should I get pushed out for my spaces for men that are in dresses with plastic fannies that will never be fucking women? Never. These will never be women.
wow. Can I
How you doing, Coda?
that was disgusting.
Damn.
I just
Yeah.
decided I
This
need to bleed on some transphobes today.
Hi, Mel. All right, let's bring up the
I
notes.
yeah.
How you doing, Darcy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right? How old are you, please?
52.
Fantastic. And does trans suffering bother you?
I'm sorry, does what bother me?
Does transgender suffering bother you?
If you're suffering, why are you suffering?
We're suffering because of transphobia. We're suffering because we're losing rights. We're suffering because we are there's a stigma around us. People don't accept us. People look down on us. They all these kind of things.
Okay, so get with the people. I have my niece, her best friend is trans. She grew up being female. She is male. You would never know. I didn't even know that was her when I saw her at my niece's baby shower 3 years ago. So I sat there and went like, holy shit. So I was lucky enough to be able, because he will tell you anything. You can have open conversations. So maybe people need to educate themselves, and maybe you guys need not, he doesn't care who validates him. He doesn't need the entire world's validation. So
Okay, great. Good for him.
you,
Good for him.
okay,
Being validated benefits us. Being validated, it feels good. It makes us feel like we're part of the community. And being invalidated separates us from the community. And do not tokenize your trans family member.
I'm not tokenizing anybody, and you have
Can
a
I
huge
just say,
attitude,
hold on.
and that is no, please don't
No,
interrupt me. Don't
Can I
interrupt.
just say,
Do
no,
not
no.
interrupt.
Oh
Don't
no
yell at me.
no, Darcy, you're in the wrong space,
No,
Darcy.
you're
This is
in the
not
wrong
your
because
space, Darcy.
This is
you
This
not
is
your
not your
space.
space.
This is
then
not
you know
your
what?
space. You're in our
Stop
house now.
asking for
So,
validation. Stop
Bef-
asking for validation from people
What
who
does it
you
cost
don't
you to
even
validate us,
fucking
Darcy?
know.
What does it cost you? What does it
validate
cost you to
people.
validate us?
Who said that I do not validate you?
Great. If you validate trans identities, then why are you so angry right now?
Because you are being rude and interrupting anybody who does not agree with your point of view.
Oh yeah, you're
because it
fucking right,
costs
Darcy.
our
I
lives.
am
Do you
not
understand
coddling
that?
bigots.
It costs our lives. That is why. I have to see in the news sometimes, oh, another trans person unalived by people attacking them. Oh, another trans person unalives themselves because bullying happened at school.
What about the
Do you
12-year-old
think
girl?
we want to
What
wake
about
up
the
every day and see
What
that?
about the 12-year-old girl who just unalived herself because she was bullied? What about the 8-year-old child?
What are you talking about, Darcy? You think that we support? No, we want bullying to end. Are you saying that we support other types of bullying?
And also,
No,
that's
but
your
it's
karma, so
bullying is going to happen, unfortunately, and it needs to stop everywhere.
No
It
fucking
needs
shit,
to
but we.
You
stop
invalidating trans
Thank you
people
for the
in
sub.
everywhere.
their identity literally gets us unalived. Do you not care? I bet you if you type in trans person unalived by people, you would get so many stories. Do you know that actually not there's so many women out there born also cis women that have been unalived because people think they're trans? Do you know that too?
Yes, I do watch
People
the news.
wait outside of the restroom and jump them because they think they're trans.
And that is because they are ignorant people.
Okay, so
No
you
one
can
should be
recognize
unalived for
so you can
being who
recognize
you
when
are.
transphobia harms cis women, but you won't validate when transphobia harms trans people.
Where did I say I did not validate it? Please tell me where I
Because-
said
no, what
I did
your-
not validate it. Tell
Your
me where
argument-
I said.
Well,
Your
you're asking.
argument is not that. I have
all
never
lives
said
matter.
you
That's
are
what your
who you
argument is. I don't
are.
know if you know you.
No,
that.
you are who
But that's
you
your
are.
argument.
Be who you are.
Yeah, we are, but like that's not what we're saying. We're just saying that. Hold up.
Need the world's fucking
No,
validation to be who you
Darcy,
are. So as a
Darcy,
woman, I
will
don't
you
need your
will you
validation to
post
be
a
who I am.
stance?
Take a breath.
Darcy, we post a stance that trans women are being unalived at alarming rates, and you said so as everybody else. Then we said transphobia also results in the unaliving of cis women, and you said, well, that shouldn't be happening.
Well,
Darcy,
or
do you know why you don't need validation? Because everybody already validates you, Darcy. Everybody already validates you. Now imagine your
Do
life
they?
if everyone said that,
Do
no,
they
you
all?
are a
Does
man.
every
Imagine if
wait a
everyone
minute?
said, no,
Does
you must
everybody
use man
validate
spaces.
you?
Imagine
Have
if
you
everyone
walked
tried to
in
strip
my
you of your
space?
gender
Have you
affirming, of
walked
your, all
in my
the
shoes?
healthcare you needed. How about you shut up for a sec?
Yeah, you're steamrolling right now, Darcy. You just need to take a breath.
Everybody can be who they want to be. That is who you choose to be.
No,
I
no,
don't care.
Darcy, no, Darcy, we can't. No, Darcy, we can't be who we want to be because we are invalidated constantly. We are losing our rights. We are forced into hiding. We cannot be who we want to be.
Also, it's not a damn choice, by the way. You think people choose to have an identity where you can be unalived at any damn second? No, we don't. Oh my gosh, do you think we choose to be born this way? No, we don't. None of us chose this. We are this way because we were made this way. Do you know how many trans people would probably give anything to probably be cis instead and not have to worry about their life, not worried about walking around wondering if people can quote unquote clock them or not? Do you not know that? Do you not understand that? It's not a choice at all.
Maybe the problem is instead of sitting there and going, I am a trans woman or I'm a woman, I'm a man. Why do you have to label yourself?
Well, you've probably got many labels, right? You've probably got many labels yourself.
I don't have many labels. I'm me. I'm a person.
Okay, are you a heterosexual woman?
I am a woman, plain and simple.
Okay. All right. Well, a
I
woman is
don't
a
put labels on myself. So don't put labels
Hi,
on
I am a
yourself.
woman, plain and simple. I am a woman, plain and simple.
Yes, you
Yep.
are. And
I was born
you're
male.
beautiful.
I am a woman,
Well,
plain and simple.
Why does the world need to know you were born a man? Why do you have to tell people
As
that?
you saw,
Why do you
as you
need
saw
that?
from the last guest, it's because not everybody thinks like you, Darcy. Not everybody is going to say all lives matter and no condition at birth is going to be an issue. They're saying if you don't pass, you don't deserve access to our spaces. If you're
Goodbye, Darcy. I got Cash App to kick you.
You're not a woman.
Thank you for the Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel is another way to kick a guest, guys. Thank you for the sub. You can Cash App $20 to Adora1111. That's 4 ones, or you can send a Ferris wheel. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that was a steamroll.
Can feel like the picture perfectly emulates us right now. You know, we just fighting. You know, I like this picture a lot. I don't know why. I found it. It was on my Pinterest board, and I opened Pinterest, and it's the first picture.
I love it. The cat's really throwing those paws around. I love it. Hi, Coda, by the way.
Hi, Beauty.
Okay, next up. Guys, I appreciate the gifts, but I'm not doing the props today. I'm just not in a prop mood. How you doing, Mime?
Hi, how are y'all?
How old are you, please?
I'm 50.
I can't hear you, Mime. There's a lot of background
I'm
noise.
50.
Mime, is it
You
possible to go
hear
in another
me?
room? I can, but I also hear a lot of background sound. Thank you for the sub. Hey, we have a subwave going. Thank you for the sub.
I've never understood how the subwave goes.
Sorry?
I've never understood how you activate the subwave. I've never understood
There's
it.
you once you reach a threshold of subs, like I set the threshold for subs to be 3. Once I get my third sub, then the subwave starts, and then I have to get however many subs I set it to in order to achieve the subwave.
Ah, gotcha.
How you doing, Mime?
I'm good. Can you hear
How
me
old are you,
now?
please? Yes, I can. How old are you?
I'm 50.
Fantastic. And does trans suffering bother you?
Well, yes. I mean, well, I think we're all suffering, actually. But women do suffer a lot for unnecessary reasons.
Yep.
There's a lot that I'm sure that y'all have to go through that, you know, us women, don't have to go through. I don't understand all of it, and I never will because I'll never
Yep.
be,
Yep.
in that situation.
Do you validate
But
trans identities?
uh, I do have a question though. Why, why are y'all on here getting so heated and
Because I'm
I just
fucking
popped up.
angry. Because I'm so
I just popped
sick.
up.
I'm so sick of my community suffering for no reason. So I'm angry.
Our existence,
Yeah.
our existence is being questioned daily. Whenever we walk into a mall, whenever we walk somewhere, whenever we're just in public, people are questioning our existence, laughing and mocking us. We come on the app; it's heightened by 100.
Yeah. So why don't y'all just go and live your life and
Because
let
people
somebody
aren't
say
letting
something
us.
to you,
Because
or
people aren't
are they
letting
saying
us.
things to you directly? When you go in the mall, do they say something to you directly?
Well, so
Sometimes, yeah,
because
I
I
do.
go into the restroom I've been using for almost the last decade, I I could possibly face jail time.
For going into a restroom.
Yes, for going to a restroom. As trivial as that sounds, there are people in this town that know me. It is a very small community. And if somebody might be holding any kind of bias against me that I'm unaware of, because I feel like I'm pretty cool with most people, but there are people who don't like me. And if for any chance in this small town, somebody saw me going into a women's restroom that did not like me, they could start a problem over it.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so whoop that ass.
All right, Mimi, I appreciate you coming up, but I'm going to move on to the next guest. You have a good day.
Okay. You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 46.
46. Fantastic. And does transgender suffering bother you?
Nope.
Wow.
Transgender suffering does not bother you, just to clarify.
Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Does transgender suffering bother you?
Yes, it does. I'm sorry, I
Okay,
didn't hear you the
fantastic.
first time.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you the first time because the phone's going in and out. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's all good. And do you validate trans identities?
Do I what?
Do you validate trans identities?
What do you mean?
Do you think that transgender people are valid? Like when I say that I'm a woman, is that a valid thing for me to say?
Yes.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. And do you think that we deserve full rights, including gender affirming care and access to public spaces?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I do.
Love to hear it. Appreciate you.
Do you think that we deserve to be playing sports?
Do I think what?
Do you think we deserve to be playing women's sports as trans
Y'all
women?
do. Yes, y'all do.
Oh,
All right.
amazing.
Awesome. Yep. W guest. Did you have anything
Yeah.
else you wanted to say today, Miss Certified?
No, I just wanted to let y'all know that y'all are human just like we are, and y'all are great. So
Thank you so much. Man, I thought that conversation was going to go in a whole different direction for a second, but thank
I
you so
know I
much.
didn't hear you the first time, and I'm sorry.
It's
I
all
was
right.
about to be like, whoa.
It was
Yeah, you have a
Whoa.
good one.
You too, sweetheart. Have a great night.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye, Queen.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad I asked for clarification.
That was. Yeah, it was a quick.
I heard it in your voice. You're like, excuse me?
Hello, Natasha.
Hello.
How old are you, please?
I'm 20.
Fantastic. And does trans suffering bother you?
Yes.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. And are trans identities valid?
Of course they are.
Awesome. Was there anything specific you wanted to say?
Just that there's a lot of corruption towards trans people, and I don't think it's a fair thing for them, honestly. I've seen so many news about how your community suffers, and it really hurts my heart to hear all that.
Well, thank you so much for the support, Natasha. You're appreciated.
Thank you.
You have a good one.
You too.
So, guys, I know I normally have an op-only rule. We are not. That is not in effect tonight. Everyone who wants to request is welcome to request. Hello, Lizzie.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How old are you, please?
I'm 33.
Fantastic. And does trans suffering bother you?
Yes.
That makes me happy. And are trans identities valid?
Of course. We've spoken a little bit before in the past. I've not seen many of your lives recently. But one of the things that I wanted to ask was, because obviously we talk about, well, you and your guests talk about all the really big things that you want to change. And I just wondered if you could wake up in a perfect world tomorrow where there was no struggling, no fighting for rights and things, what's the most simple thing that you would just want to wake up and be able to go and find or do or have the
Well,
right
in
to
my
do?
perfect world, we would have an equitable distribution of resources.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Basically, those who already have what they need wouldn't get as many benefits, and those who have less and need more would get more resources.
Like healthcare and things like that.
Yes.
Fab. I also wanted to ask, if you don't mind me asking, because I know it's not really the point of this live, is like I say, I haven't seen a lot of your lives recently, but I just wanted to know if your surgery went well and if you're recovering okay.
I am. Recovery is going very well. I'm a bit under the weather right now. but that's a whole different thing, not related to me, my recovery. I hope it's not related to my recovery, but yeah, I got most of my range back. Like once I make it to like right here, I start to feel a little bit of tension. I mean, I can reach above my head if I want to, but I'm just not chancing it.
I think the last video I saw was where you were, I think where you were preparing for your surgery, and you were like getting all the things together, and you were saying that you had to wear all these like really restrictive things, and that you wouldn't be able to lift your arms above your head. How long is that going to go on for?
I'm gonna take it easy for a good month. They want me on a weight restriction for about a month. 5
Like
pounds,
about how
5
much you
pound weight
can pick up and
restriction.
stuff.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I'm really glad to hear that your recovery is going well. Really glad.
Thank you so much.
Nice to speak to you.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
I hate nausea, guys. I hate nausea. How you doing, Rainbow?
Hello. Can you hear
How old
me?
are you? Yes, I can. How old are you, please?
48.
48. Fantastic. And does transgender suffering bother you?
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. And are trans
Yeah.
identities valid?
Yes, they are.
Fantastic. Was there something you wanted to say specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more. I wish there was more that I could do to help, other than, to spread knowledge and continue on to aggravate people and stuff, and to not being hateful. But, just vote blue.
Yep. Vote blue, people. Vote blue.
Yep. Yep.
I
That's
love
all we can do.
I love your bio, by the way, Rainbow. It's so cute. Because
Oh, thank you.
yeah, you're of course.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I'm
short,
short with
so,
attitude as well, so
yeah.
us short people gotta have attitude.
Well, I'm 4'9", so I'm very, very short.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm the
My
size of a
kitty does not
kid.
like the scent of my denauseator.
Oh,
She
boy.
sniffed it and she was just like, no.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear your surgery went well.
Yes, it went very well.
Yeah.
It smells like peppermint, spearmint, lavender, and ginger.
That smells
It smells so
good.
good. Yeah, it
Smells
smells so
good.
good. It helps with nausea a little bit, but really, it's the alcohol swabs that really help the best. Not drinking alcohol. The little alcohol wipes. If you
Yeah,
sniff
it
an alcohol wipe,
does.
it really helps with nausea.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
it does.
Ich komme aus Deutschland. Awesome. Ich spreche kleine
Yeah.
Deutsch.
I don't speak any other languages. But yeah, that was really all I wanted to say was that, yeah, I mean, just, everybody's just got to keep pressing.
Well, thank you so much for coming up, Rainbow. Appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
How many languages do I speak? I mean, I speak English, ich spreche kleine Deutsch, and Oeplate not wie.
That's very talented.
Thank you. Nobody knows what that third one was, and I'm not telling anyone.
I speak English and Māori, but only because it's my native languages. But I don't speak any languages from anywhere else around the world. I wish I could.
Thank you for the hand hearts. What nationality am I? I'm Italian. I mean, I don't live in America, but I'm Italian heritage. Okay, I do want to get some up. You got it, Kelly Marie. You got it.
Hello.
How you doing, Drake?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How old are you, please?
Hi. Oh my God, I've been trying to get into your live for the longest time, but
All right.
really
How
have.
old are you? How
I
old are
got
you?
a question.
I need to know your age first.
I am 50. I am 50 years old.
Fantastic.
I'm 50.
And does transgender suffering bother you?
Okay. Yes, it does.
Fantastic.
It
And are
actually
trans
does.
identities valid?
I think it's sad.
Okay.
Yes, they are valid.
Fantastic. Okay.
I have a quick
What
question
question
for
would you
you.
like to ask? Yep.
I really need some help. I need some help about my granddaughter. She came to us and her mother told in front of us, but her dad will disown her and her grandpa will disown her if she says anything to them. She's not sure if she's straight, gay, bi, trans, or pansexual. We both told her, me and my man, both told her that we will accept her no matter the way she is. I don't know how else to help her because I feel bad. They shouldn't disown her like that. That's sad.
Yeah.
She's only
Yes.
12. She's going to be 13. But she's an intelligent girl, and I just wanted her to know that I will accept her no matter what. I truly
It's
do.
in,
I accept everybody. I think everybody can be the way they want, love who you want. It's a crazy world. But I mean, all I
it's
could do is just tell her I'll keep being there for her, right?
it's
And
very,
this,
very important that she knows that she has someone that she can come to.
Oh, yeah, we both told her that. Even my man said it. We both said that we don't care, sweetheart. We'll love you no
Yeah.
matter what.
and this is
But I mean,
why,
Safety, especially as a child, safety has to be the top priority. So,
yes,
um,
it just breaks my heart that they would do
yeah.
that to her. It's sad.
and this is
It's
why
so
we,
sad.
this is why we
I don't
do,
know how anybody can do that to their child. I would love my child no matter what. No matter
yeah,
what. I wouldn't care. I tell my children now, the whole life, no matter, be you. They don't have to be afraid to come to me to tell me anything. I mean, I used to have my son's friends come and talk to me because their parents were so rude and mean. Come talk to me. I'm a social person. I'm always talking to everybody, you
and
know,
this,
but I think you're amazing and I think you're a beautiful person. I really
Thanks so much.
do. And I just think it's amazing you're out here helping people and being there for people. I really, truly do. I'm sorry, I get emotional. But I think you're beautiful. You really are. You're a beautiful person. I watch you live at the contest and all everything. It's you got
this
Appreciate you,
is,
Dragan.
this is
you
why we,
really are.
Yeah.
Don't let
because,
anybody get to you or bother you. You know you're amazing and beautiful. Please remember that, okay? Just remember that, okay?
And thank you so much for being there for
I'm
your.
glad you guys were able to help me with my granddaughter because I didn't know what to do.
Oh, I say
But
fight
just hang
for
in there.
her.
Don't worry about those. Don't worry about the trolls.
What were you gonna say, Coda?
I see you tearing
Uh,
up. You're gonna make me cry.
I
I
was
do. I always
saying,
cry when people cry. I get so emotional. My man's always saying, "You're so emotional." I just got a
yeah,
big heart. I love everybody. Yes,
no,
honey.
we know that. I would say fight for her tooth and nail. When if that time comes, you know, her timeline is going to be her timeline. She will come out when she wants to come out to who she wants to come out to. But if anybody's given her any shit over it, I personally say
I'd be right there.
you know, be her front line.
I'd be right
Yep.
there to fight for her. I will fight for her. You know, she's my granddaughter, and I will fight for her. She's my world. She's my everything. She came out and told us, her and her mother, they all sat there at the table with us and told us. And I was like, I'm here for you. I'm like, I love you, girl. I love you, sweetheart. No matter what, I love you. You know?
Dragon Queen,
my man made her laugh because he was like, it's okay. You know, but I'd be just sick to her own dad and grandpa would be like that. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to her.
Dragon Queen,
But I
Knowing that
didn't
you
want
have
to take up
someone to
too
go
much of your
to makes
time. I
all the
know you were
difference in
looking
the
for
world.
Op, but I wanted your opinion of
Not
what I
tonight.
should
That's not what
do.
tonight's theme is. um,
Dragon Queen, can I just say something? I think
Yes.
this is very much why all of us on these panel host these sort of lives and stuff because we really need people to understand that there's nothing wrong with trans identities. There's nothing strange about it, and even if we can change a couple of people's minds on this, it's a start, right? But it just
Yes.
get better. It
Because
does.
they can get depressed. I don't want to see my granddaughter get depressed, to be all upset and hate herself and not like herself. I wouldn't want anybody to feel like that.
Exactly. It's
And
not
that's sad. That's why I kept telling myself, I hope stuff like this comes to my town and state, because I'll be right there to back them up. Because this is
Sure.
crazy. I don't care if someone else is fighting with me. I will fight you back. No, you're not going to put someone down in front of me. You're not going to do that in front of me. I don't go for that. I don't like bullies. I don't like people judging people. Just let people be. That's how I believe. But I really, truly think you're beautiful, Adora. You're gorgeous. You're a beautiful, beautiful person. You really are. And just please believe that in your heart that you're gorgeous, okay?
Thank you so much.
Please.
Appreciate you.
Yes. You guys are all gorgeous, okay? I mean, if you want to let me go, I'll go. That's fine. So you can get on your day and do what you got to do. I got a little man I got to put to sleep anyway, so.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
just what Coda said, though. Be the front line of defense for your granddaughter.
Oh,
When
of
she's
course.
ready, be ready to fight tooth and nail.
Oh, I will. Believe that. That's
Okay.
yes. I will be right there with her, backing her up. I don't care who's in front of her.
All right,
I'll
awesome.
back her up.
Keep kicking ass.
Oh, yeah. I'm the drama kick-asser.
All right.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. I don't know how to get.
I got you. No problem. You have a good night. Oh, we've had some really good guests today. Ooh,
Yeah.
we've had some really good guests. All right. Next up.
Hello.
How you doing, Caitlin?
How are you?
I am doing all right. How old are you, please?
I am 27 years old.
27. Fantastic. And does trans suffering bother you?
It doesn't, well, I mean, it doesn't bother me because it doesn't have anything to do with me, but the other day you were having a live
Yeah,
and
it bothers me when other people are suffering that have nothing to do with me.
okay, how are trans people suffering in the US? I'm really ignorant to what's
We
going
have
on.
we're invalidated constantly. We have to be afraid going out in public. Coming out is utterly terrifying because we don't know if our lives are going to be turned on their head. We do not have, we're losing rights to gender affirming care. We're losing rights to public spaces. We don't have employment protections. We are suffering.
Public
And does that bother you?
spaces as in how? I'm genuinely just curious.
Sorry?
Public spaces as in how? I'm genuinely curious. I see your chat's not happy with the fact that I'm curious, but
Yeah, any kind of space that is separated by gender, we are losing rights to those spaces.
okay.
Bathrooms, sports, those sort of things.
Oh, I see the chat saying bathrooms.
Bathrooms and sports. There's actually a lot of things that affect trans people, especially in America.
Mention parents are also losing their children because they're being very supportive and helping their trans kid affirm their care. They could get their kid could be taken away, they could be put in jail. You have a rise of hate crimes happening to trans people in general. So yeah.
I agree with that, but I do think that I think that the bathroom situation is a little confusing.
What's confusing? Which part's confusing to you?
The part where I would have to explain to my daughter, why there's somebody standing up using the bathroom or anything like that. It's just
Yeah. Okay. So why in the world would someone be standing up to use the bathroom in?
ask the full question, or do I get cut off just because you're running the
I
line?
am not looking to give space to be anyone who invalidates trans identities or thinks that we don't.
Not invalidating, it's questions.
Okay, I have a question. So,
Absolutely.
in which bathroom would you see a person standing up and using the bathroom like that,
Well,
especially the
apparently
bathroom that you're
the
going
women's
in.
bathrooms are going to need urinals now because men or
No,
transgender men or
We're not
whatever.
asking for urinals in women's bathrooms.
no
What
one's
are you
asking for that.
wanting?
Do you not know why trans women are like are women? They don't want anything to do with being a man at all, so they wouldn't want a urinal at all.
The reason why I brought that up is because I was in the live yesterday, but I had gotten banned on my account, so I couldn't go live. And there was a woman that came in the live and said that she needed guidance on how to explain to her child if she had ran into a person that looked like a man in the woman's bathroom, and you had a very successful conversation with her and explained to her how you would guide her child. But now I'm kind of asking the question a little bit differently, and I'm getting a lot of backlash.
Yeah, deal with it. I'm angry, and I do not feel like being nice to people who are making things hard for my community.
So then why
Yes.
do you go live every day and accept people and try to talk to them? This isn't educating. You're just pissed.
Do you have a son, Caitlin?
I do have a son.
Okay, so does he have a father figure of any sort?
Absolutely. His dad is very active in his life.
Okay, so how are you going to explain to your son when I walk into a men's bathroom?
I don't go in the men's bathroom because I'm a woman.
Right, so how are you, because your argument for trans women not being in women's bathroom is that you are going to have to explain that to your son. So I'm posing the question, if we cannot go to the women's restroom, I, who very much presents like a woman, am going to be forced into using the men's restroom next to your husband and your minor child. How do you want to explain that to your minor child? Do you see how this is a no-win situation?
So do you identify as a woman or a male? I'm curious.
Caitlin, in your bio it says mental health matters.
110%.
Right, and does that count for trans people too?
Absolutely. I'm not knocking
Fantastic.
anything.
And are you aware that invalidating trans people, that keeping us out of spaces of our identities, hurts our mental health?
Keeping you out of spaces that you identify as? Is that what you asked? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you for the shooting stars. Invalidating us and keeping us out of the spaces that we belong in hurts our mental health.
Oh, I was never invalidating. I was just asking just questions, like just like y'all had in the live the other day. Your live was, do I belong in the women or the men's bathroom? And I was just kind of counter going off of that.
Do trans women belong in the women's bathroom?
Do I believe trans women belong in the bathroom?
Do trans women belong in the women's bathroom?
I mean, I don't think I'm going to win here, to be honest, because no, I don't think that.
Yeah, that's invalidating trans identities. That is keeping us out of the spaces where we belong, and that is harmful to our mental health, significantly so.
Caitlin, can I ask you a question?
It looks like everybody, what's very interesting to me about this, the whole like being ignorant to the idea of transgender and stuff like that, is every comment that has something to do with the question of what I'm saying or somebody validating me, your mods remove it. That's what's really interesting about all of this. But yeah, go ahead.
Good job, mods. Keep it up. Good job.
Caitlin,
But why? If you want to have a political like conversation with somebody, why have them remove the ones that agree with me?
I'm not looking.
People that agree
Give you
with
a platform, Caitlin.
Focus on us. Hold up. Don't focus on the chat. Focus on us. We're having the
I'm focused
conversation.
on all of it. Go ahead, Haley. I'm listening.
Okay, so mental health matters to you, right? Okay, so what would you advocate for most? Like, what do you think makes more sense? If a trans woman's going into a men's restroom and always feeling uncomfortable and threatened, or if a trans woman's going into the women's restroom and occasionally a cis woman may feel uncomfortable? What one makes more sense? The trans woman always feeling uncomfortable in a men's restroom, or a cis woman occasionally feeling uncomfortable in a woman's restroom?
Randy.
Well, I think Haley asked you a question.
Yeah, I'm finished with the question. You can answer it.
Well, I mean, it's nothing. It's out of everybody's control, really.
So what I'm asking though, what if you're advocating for mental health and mental health matters, then what if a trans woman's going into a room and
What?
always feeling
That's so
uncomfortable?
crazy that y'all are taking my bio and running with it and trying to like just create this narrative that trans people are just suffering. I just think it's a load of fucking bullshit, to be
Yeah,
honest.
do
But
you think it's bullshit that we're suffering?
I just think it's a load of fucking bullshit.
Do you think it's bullshit that the trans community is suffering? Is that what I'm hearing right now?
a girl or you're born a guy. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay, Caitlin, stop talking, Caitlin, stop talking. Caitlin, what would it cost you to validate trans identities? What would it cost you?
There's no. I just think that it's. I just think that it's.
That wasn't the question. What would it cost you to validate trans identities? What would it cost?
I just don't agree with it. It's not about costing anything.
No, no. What would it cost you? How much effort? How much energy? Like, what damage would be done to you by validating trans identities?
I just can't get behind it, especially raising my child. I just can't.
What would it cost you?
See, she didn't even answer my question, so I'm not sure she's going to answer it.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't. The chat's saying that I don't care. I'm not saying I don't care. I'm just saying that I believe that.
I'm saying that you don't care.
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm saying that.
I don't care. The
You
thing
should
is
take mental
that
health out of your bio then, because
no, I
what's
won't.
crazy, you know what's crazy? Mental health actually backs trans identities up, tries to help us go through this world where we have people like you or people that just don't understand us, that are just mean and cruel and don't
I'm not being mean at all. I'm just being.
Yeah, you are actually, Caitlin.
Yeah.
You
No,
are being rude.
Caitlin, what you're saying is that trans suffering does not bother you. Is that you're okay with the extreme mental health situation that we have, at least in the United States. I know in other places as well.
I've never met a transgender person that genuinely feels like they're suffering. I haven't in my life.
Or maybe we don't talk to you because we know you're not safe.
Caitlin, I just asked you a question regarding a mental health scenario, and you couldn't answer it. So, does mental health really matter to you?
Wait a second. I need CPS called on me because I have different beliefs than y'all. That's crazy.
You're pivoting. That's not what I'm saying. I asked you a specific question regarding our mental health in terms of a bathroom scenario, and you couldn't answer it. Does it really matter to you?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Wait, you want to repeat the question?
No, I'm not talking to you. What did you say?
What? Because you couldn't answer it.
What?
I need you to answer it.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be the same thing. It doesn't matter what I think.
Focused on the chat. She's focused on the background.
No, it does. It doesn't. It very, very much matters what you think, Caitlin, because you have more power than you know. You have the power to cause suffering or to not cause suffering. It's your choice.
Do you know what percentage
I'm the bad guy here.
Do you know the percentage?
But I'm the bad guy. All of your
Do you know the percentage of self-unaliving rates?
I mean, I'm invalidated.
Caitlin, listen to Lyric. Lyric is saying something extremely important, and if you care about anyone's well-being, listen to Lyric.
Do you know?
But you're
do you know
all of your
about?
people to think
Hey,
that.
hello, I'm speaking. Do you know the self-unalive rate for trans children and teens?
Trans children, so y'all educate your children. So I should come up to I literally just had this conversation.
Answer Lyric's question.
Or
so,
what?
So wait.
Okay.
So wait a minute. You're telling me whether you believe that trans children or teens exist, you would literally flip. Hold on. Can you shut the fuck up?
That is so
You would
disgusting.
flip a coin. You would flip a coin on your own child's life if your child came to you and said, "Hey, I'm trans." And
if you know why my child would never come to me and say they're trans, because I don't sit here and educate a 6-year-old on transgender people. Because my kid doesn't need to know that.
And you know what's crazy? It develops in utero. And there's a thing, if you look up, if you are smart enough, I don't know if you are right now, because I don't
Apparently
think you
I'm not, because I have different beliefs.
Yeah, no. Okay, if you look up the hypothalamus and you ask when does gender form within the brain, It is from ages 3 to 7. It's nothing taught. Your kid already knows. You can ask any gay person. Any gay person I know, and even me, I knew I was gay very young. I knew that I was not cis. I knew I was trans young, and there was no word for it. My parents didn't raise me to know what trans was. There was no thing called non-binary back then, what I was taught about. But something told me, my inner self, in kindergarten, I didn't feel like I was a girl or a boy. It did not matter to me. Like, it mattered to me, but I felt like an outsider. My body, I wanted to claw my way out of. So nobody, quote unquote, raised me on transgenderism, which it is not a ism, by the way. It's just transgender. Okay? It's not an ism. So why don't you look up the hypothalamus, look it up for me, do some actual research. Okay? Do some actual research instead of yelling at us and being like, well, oh, that's so disgusting that you would teach your kid that. No. Nobody is teaching their child that. Their child already knows, but it's people like you that deny your child right that literally is just flipping a coin on whether or not, if their child becomes trans, says, hey, I'm trans or not, can lose their kid's life, and you just sit there and act like you don't care. Because the ideation rate is about 60%. 60% of trans children and teens have ideations of self-unaliving, and some of them actually do it. And you have parents who do not care.
Lifetime is approximately 80%. And it's because of people like you who refuse to validate us, refuse to allow us into your spaces, you're causing that.
Yeah, and
And you're
also,
okay with that.
I want to add on to that too and say, Caitlin, I transitioned at 14 and I had never seen or heard of what it was to be a trans. I'd never met a trans person. I'd never seen it on TV. I didn't know anything. And then this all just came naturally. It's all natural, okay?
Okay, well, I hope this encourages everybody that watches your live that has any different beliefs to never come up on here, because apparently...
Caitlin, you are choosing to continue to uphold suffering. This is your choice. It would cost you nothing to validate trans identities. It would cost you nothing. Absolutely nothing, and you still refuse to do it. Goodbye.
What can I do to validate?
Go watch your Michael Knowles.
Thank you for the Ferris wheel.
It was absolutely disingenuous. There was this person does not care about mental health like they suggest in their bio.
Exactly. Or that 60% number would have hit a nerve with them, but they do not care.
No, not at all.
Nothing.
Okay.
Take a breath, Adora, you got this.
Welcome back, Lizzie.
Hello. I'm just intrigued a little bit by Caitlin's point. I'd really like to understand how she thinks that it's hard for her to explain how a male to female person how she would explain that to her son, but how she would think that she would have to explain to her son why a female presenting person would be in a male bathroom. I hope I've phrased that right. I'm just going a little bit off what Coda said about how she's going, well, I don't want to have to explain that to my son about why there's a male to female transgender person in the bathroom. Well, how are you going to explain it to your son why there is a female presenting person in the male bathroom? And that
I don't want
doesn't
to
seem to... Sorry, Coda, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go on.
Sorry. My beginning of my sentence was in the middle of yours. Go ahead.
I was just, like I say, going off your point that I think you said to Caitlin was she's so concerned about having to explain to her son about a male to female transgender person being in a female bathroom, but it doesn't seem to cross her mind about explaining to her son about if she wants to force male to female transgender people to be in a male bathroom, if her son then goes into that male bathroom and sees that person, why would she not then have to explain to them why that person's in that bathroom?
Right. And let me tell you why. It's because she doesn't care about explaining anything to a child. What she's hoping for is that trans people get what she believes should be coming to them, because she knows that trans women are going to face more violence and more SA when they are forced into men's room. She doesn't care about what her child learns. She hates trans people.
She's
She
all
wants
she
trans people to be assaulted.
all she's bothered about is forcing what she believes onto her child, and she can believe what she wants to believe. That's fine. We're obviously not going to change that. But, and forgive me if I've misunderstood this, but are you a male to female transgender person? You present as female and you look very feminine from the picture that I can see. Is that right?
Yes.
And do you, forgive me if this is really personal, but do you use female bathrooms?
I have for almost the last decade.
So
But I've been legislated out of them. So if I was to not be close to my home and have an emergency, I would have to find a safer place to use a women's restroom, like a Starbucks or Walmart, something like that. But if I was in a Hobby Lobby, a city away from my home, I would have to use a male restroom or find a unisex restroom somewhere, which not all places have.
And I'm really, really sorry that you have to do that, because it's not something, I don't know if there's differences between the UK and the US, but it's not something that I've ever experienced. I don't quite honestly have any friends that are transgender, and I'm sorry that you have to put so much thought into going to a bathroom. But if I went to a bathroom and I saw you, the way that I see you in your profile picture, if I saw someone that looked like Adora, I'd be like, well, I wouldn't even think, there wouldn't even be a thought in my head. I'd just be like, oh, I hope they can reach the hand dryer or the soap or whatever. That's all I'd think about. I wouldn't think about what's in their trousers or their skirt or whatever. But I just find it quite strange when people like Caitlin are like, oh, how am I going to explain to my son when there is somebody that is transgender? You can't always tell that someone's transgender, especially these days. And the surgeries and the way that people do their makeup, I mean, you look beautiful. I wouldn't even have a second thought about whether you were transgender or not, and why should I anyway? It's none of my damn business. But she thinks about that, but she doesn't think about how one day she might send her son into a bathroom and her son comes out and says, oh, there was someone that looked like a woman in the bathroom. How's she going to explain that? It's ridiculous. And like you say, it's all about pushing her thoughts and her agenda on her child. She can think what she wants. If that's the way she's going to think, and there's clearly nothing we can do to change her mind, but why push it onto her child? And she's going to bring him up with this completely back to front way of thinking that she's going to have to explain one thing but not the other.
Right.
Yes.
And you know she dodged that completely.
Oh, definitely. She really did. Because I noticed when you said it, and I mentioned it a couple of times in the comments, and I was saying, because I know she was paying so much attention to the comments, and I kept saying, answer the question, answer what Coda's saying, because she was completely dodging it, that she's so worried about having to explain you being in a female bathroom, but she wasn't thinking about, well, the son might come out of a bathroom and be like, why is there a woman in the male bathroom? Because you look like a woman, and a child is going to refer to you as a woman because you look like one.
Right. And the state of like America as it is right now, especially in like more conservative states, we have like actual like companies putting out statements on whether or not they are trans friendly. It looks a lot like fascism. Just, you know.
It's sad that they have to, because it shouldn't even be
It shouldn't
a
be an
question.
issue.
It just should not even be a question. But I just wanted to come and say that I picked up on what you were saying to her, and I want her to answer that. She probably won't.
To be fair, Lizzie, she didn't answer a single question. She kept answering a question with a question or an analogy or this or that. She didn't answer any questions. Some people just don't want to. They just come up here to air their grievances out. That's literally what it is. And, I mean, the background says she's allowed to. So, flat out, come and air your grievances. But if you're going to come up and air them, at least wait for the replies and then answer.
Yeah, and she didn't, but I just wanted to point out to Coda that I'd noticed what you mentioned, and I think it was a really valid point, and she couldn't answer it, but yeah.
All right, Lizzie, I'm going to drop you down and move on to the next guest, but thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you.
You have a good one.
You too.
Bye, Lizzie.
My parents, can I just say, they were like, did something go wrong in a live? Because we heard you yelling, and I was like, oh, just me chewing out a bigot. Don't worry about it, Mom and Dad. And they're like, we're so proud of you, and I'm like, thanks. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Okay, next guest. Everyone keeps asking where I got the Hello Kitty hoodie from. I got it from Hot Topic. How you doing today?
Hello.
Bozinova? Bozinova?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really good. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 18.
Fantastic. What year were you born?
2005.
Okay, and does transgender suffering bother you?
Yeah, look, I think I'm going to have to agree more with the girl that was on before. Like, not suggesting that, like, I don't care about transgender people or I don't like them.
What would it cost you to validate trans
on the topic of-
identities?
I mean, it wouldn't cost me anything, but, like, it's my belief.
But you're not going to do it anyways?
I don't need. You're just talking.
It would cost you nothing, but you're not going to do it. Why? Why will you not validate trans identities?
Because it's my belief that they shouldn't be using the other bathroom.
Okay, are you aware of how much harm it does to trans people when you deny our existence, when you deny our access to the spaces of our identities? Are you aware of how harmful that is?
I think, for example, people like you, like who was the girl that was just on? What was her name?
Yeah, I don't know or care. Are you aware of how much damage it does to invalidate trans identities? Are you aware of how much damage it does? Are you aware of how high the unaliving ideation rate is?
Are you aware of how annoying you are when you push this agenda on every
Oh yeah,
single
I'm
person?
fully aware, and I'm going to keep being annoying because bigots have no place, and I will not give bigotry any ground at all.
Can I ask you, if this is so annoying, why did you come in here and request?
Why are you letting me join, and why are you talking to other people that don't believe you and
Why
don't
are
agree
you
with you? Then
Why are you
why
coming?
are you talking? Why are you talking to me then?
Because you're on the panel and so am I. So you came into a trans space and you requested to join. So you actively seek this out. We didn't seek you out.
What are you doing on here then? Just talking about random stuff. You're
I'm
obviously
trying to get people to
talk
address
that
their
don't-
transphobia. You are a transphobe.
Yeah,
Why will you not address that?
I'm not a fucking transphobe. I literally
no, you
just
are.
said that I
No,
literally just said.
You
I
are. I'm not
literally just
asking.
said
I'm
that
not asking you if you are. You are. Thank you so much, Mel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I literally just said that I'm not against trans people, so.
Yeah, but you are. You are against us. You said that you don't want us in various in the public spaces of our identity.
I mean, someone like you who clearly doesn't look like a fucking female. I don't know who the fuck
Read
you're
between the
trying to
lines.
convince that you do.
Read between the lines. Read between the lines. Thank you so much for the sub.
I didn't know you can look like chromosomes or a sex. I didn't know that. Last I checked, you can look like a woman. That's a gender. But last I checked, you can't look like chromosomes. Because do you know the difference between...
Gender and sex are the same thing.
No, they're not.
We're not here to educate you. We are not here to educate you today. We are not here to educate you. What I'm here to do is get you to confront your transphobia. So,
I'm trying to educate
so you've already admitted that it would cost you absolutely nothing to validate our identities, and yet you refuse to do so anyways. Why? Why does trans suffering not bother you? Why? Why are you okay with this?
Say that.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you did.
That's literally what you're saying. You're literally you're one of those people that say, "Oh, I don't have a problem, but," and then start listing your problems. So you have problems.
Do you know what it
When it
feels
comes to the
like
point, when it
to
comes
be
to the point
afraid to
when
go
I
out in
would be,
public? Do you know what it feels like to have people to disagree with the very core of your existence? Do you know what that feels like?
yeah, you
Okay,
don't need to be
then
trans.
why are you okay with that
Stop
with
trying to be
trans
so
people?
fucking, stop trying to be niche. Like, just because you're trans doesn't mean you're the only people that feel uncomfortable going out in public. Like, no one cares.
Yeah, no shit. There are other people that suffer as well, and guess what? I don't want them to suffer, and I will do what I have to do to make them not suffer.
We are the only
Then
people
stop using the
legislated out
female
of
bathroom
public
because you look
Bigoted
like a
restrooms.
man and I'll be
sunglasses.
uncomfortable.
No,
Oh
we
my
are the only
god, it's
people
not a female
legislated out of public
restroom, it's a
restrooms.
woman's restroom. Oh my
Okay, do you
god, do people not
understand that
know?
literal P3DOs can use a public restroom and I can't?
What?
You realize that, right?
I
What
don't
did you
even.
just say?
Who
I
are
don't even.
registered SOs can use a public restroom, and I have been legislated out of it. Why?
Because you're a man.
Oh my god.
Just because you identify as a female doesn't mean
Okay,
you are
so
one. Sorry.
right there, you just invalidated a trans identity, and you did it
Oh
to
my
no
god, get
gain.
over it.
You gained nothing by saying what you just said. You gained nothing, and there are situations where
Yes, you
that can
did.
cost someone. What do you gain? What do you gain by saying that? What do you gain by invalidating trans people?
Letting you know, giving you the a fact of the day that you.
No. That's not a gain for you. What do
Yes,
you
it is.
gain? No. What do
That is a
you
game.
personally? How is your life better for harming trans people? How is your life
I'm
better?
not harming you. It's
It's
called
a
a
good thing
fact.
she's
Stop being
hotter
so
than you.
sensitive.
You're a
What?
transphobe. Get over it.
I'm not asking you if what you're saying is harmful. I'm telling you that what you're saying is harmful. So what? So if you're going to say something
What you're
harmful,
saying
you
to
better
me
have a
is
damn
harmful.
good
What you're saying
reason.
to me is
So
harmful. What you're saying
explain.
to me is
Explain.
harmful.
Explain to me how trans people are harming you in any way. Explain.
You're yelling at me and calling me transphobic. That's harming me because you're saying something that's not true.
I mean, you are.
I'll also tell you something that's true.
Okay.
Coda is like 10 times hotter than you, and you're jealous.
Sorry, who's that?
I second that.
I don't know who that is. That's fine. That's your opinion. So I can't tell you that you don't look like a woman, but then you can tell me that some random trans is hotter than me. That's fine.
No, you told Coda that she's worse than a P3DO, so I'm telling you something a little bit less worse. Sorry, a little
Wait,
bit
what?
less horrible.
What did I say?
Well, you responded to Coda's statement or question of why should I be legislated out of a bathroom and not P3DOs, and you told her because she's a man. So I told you something a little less horrible, that Coda is 10 times hotter than
Oh,
you.
because what I said was a fact.
So if I made the assumption that you were a man, could I then justify kicking you out of a bathroom because I think that you look like one? Or is that just
Oh
ridiculous?
my god.
See how ridiculous that sounds?
Oh my god, I found a picture of our guest, everyone. Look. It's her crying at the fact that trans women are 10 times hotter than her.
What?
Yeah, explain to me, because you couldn't answer Coda for some reason, or unless being a man is worse than being a P3DO. Tell me how being trans is worse than being a P3DO.
What did you just say? I don't know what that is.
Type it into your phone and look at the word.
Just tell me what it is quickly.
Just imagine the 3 is an E. Now spell it
Just
out in
tell
your
me
head and
what it
don't
is.
say it on the
So,
live. Say it on the live, I'll just straight up kick you. There's a reason we censor the word. So just turn the 3 into an E.
People that love. I'm not gonna finish that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Did you figure it out?
oh, sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
answer the question.
Unfortunately, they don't have security in bathrooms to determine whether someone is one of them or not. So that's out of my control. But to limit it, they're not going to let someone in that looks like a man. I understand if someone looks like a female, go
No,
ahead,
no, no, no,
but
no, no,
you
no, no, no,
don't.
no, 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 no. Trans people do not pose any threat to cis people. We do not pose a threat. You just don't want us in your space because we're icky to you.
And also, can I add on to that and say, what is someone's looks like? How is someone presenting more masculine, heightening or increasing their risk of being an offender or some sort of um, uh, 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 predator, if you will?
Because they're
I
different
no,
bathrooms for a
stop.
reason.
I present more masculine than every trans woman on this freaking panel.
And you
So
still look
get
like
over
a female.
yourself. I'm a cis woman, but
Yeah.
yet
So
they all look more feminine than me. So how
No,
do
they
you make any
don't.
sense right now? You're absolutely
No.
toxic.
yeah. So how does
I'm telling you, I can see that you look like a female, and
that?
the Adora or whatever doesn't.
I want to
Yeah.
say, how does
What
this?
do you gain by saying that? Okay, this is what I'm trying to get you to realize
What
that
do
what
you
you
gain by
say,
saying that
what
I'm transphobic?
what
We're
you
just
say causes actual for real harm, real world, real people, and you gain nothing by saying it. Fortunately, I am very secure in myself. I'm very, very confident. I feel absolutely fucking gorgeous. So you can't take me down, try as you may. But you have that power over others. So what do you gain by tearing people down? What do you gain? Unmute. I've
What
muted
do I
you.
gain?
Okay, there you go.
I don't know if I can talk because you're just going to talk over me, but
Yep.
you've
This
given me this
what's going to
plat.
happen.
Yeah, okay. So stop asking questions then, because you keep talking over me.
I want you to address your transphobia. Are you willing to do so?
No, because I'm not.
Yeah, I know you're not
Why
willing
are
to.
you
Goodbye.
afraid of the least likely demographic to commit violent crime?
literally.
Like that's embarrassing.
Understand. I will never understand their logic whatsoever, nor do my parents, not even my own grandparents, which I actually had to debate, by the way, to convince them. And then I told my grandmother, who is a part of a certain religion, everybody will know, that has P3Os in it. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You are more afraid of a trans woman who most likely would protect you from getting harmed by one of those men or any predator men, or protect, my uncle from being attacked. Got it.
Yeah. Adora, I
Yep.
am going to drop down, but I appreciate you having me up. Mel,
No
Hot
problem.
Dog, Oda, Lyric, Adora, hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see everyone later. Thank you.
You
Thank you so much.
too.
Keep kicking ass.
I popped down for a minute. I had to run to my computer and verify something because somebody in the comments had popped off. Yes, registered SOs can use public restrooms. There are certain states and certain countries who legislate certain things given parameters of public parks and public schools, but for the most part, they are not legislated out of public restrooms as it relates to Walmart, McDonald's, etc., unless that particular company has a policy forbidding it.
Okay. Meow.
Hi.
How's it going today, lovable?
It's going okay. How are you? I mean,
Doing all right.
welcome.
How old are you, please?
I'm 30.
30. Fantastic. And just trans suffering bother you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've been watching your live for I think about a month now. And I just wanted to come on and say I think all of you guys are wonderful people.
Thank you
And
so much.
so sorry that you guys have to go through these things, because I know I'll never fully understand as a cis woman.
It's hard out there right now. but we're not going to stop fighting. We need our cis allies.
Yes, and you guys have helped me become a better ally.
Awesome. That makes me happy. Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to say, Lovable?
No, I don't think so. I'm sorry. I've been suffering with cognitive problems lately, so
You're good. You're good. You have a good day, Lovable.
you
Thank you
too.
for coming up.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Coda, I just want to check in. You doing okay?
I'm actually fixing some jewelry up right now. My husband's mom gave me some like little craft supplies and stuff to make some jewelry here. Let me show you.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
making these little necklaces that look like vials of blood. I made them out of like
I just bought some of those yesterday.
nail supplies and then I made some that are like little earrings too. So
Oh, I don't know where I put mine. I have some though. Oh, there they are.
So cool.
Will you happen to be selling any of those? Because I would totally buy a set.
I can definitely start taking commissions. Like my literal table is a mess, but I've been using nail polish, alcohol, super glue, all that. I've got all my nail stuff that I've been working
I
on.
totally would have commissioned you if I had known. So I bought this from freaking Hot Topic.
So they would look like coagulated.
That's so cool.
It's time for my Halloween looks.
You should definitely start commissioning Coda because those are so cool.
Yeah, if you do start taking commissions, DM me.
I will let y'all know.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up the next guest.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right? How old are you, please?
I'm 29.
29. Fantastic. Thank you for the sub. And does trans suffering bother you?
It really does.
Awesome. And trans identities are valid?
I do. While I don't understand the suffering, I think I feel really bad for you guys and I want to know like more about it.
Well, what we're facing right now is like we're facing a lot. There's a stigma around being trans. We don't know who's safe, who's not. So even in safe states, it can be scary going out in public.
Is that more of like a northern thing or like a southerner thing?
The majority of transphobia is definitely a southern thing. Like the worst of it. But it definitely happens in the north too, for sure. It happens in the north as well.
That's awful. What can people do to help more?
I literally just attended a school meeting last week for my kid's school district to try and advocate for the trans kids in the district, and there was a room full of transphobic people. It was
I can't imagine going up against that. Did you get a lot of backlash from that? That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was more, not that I got backlash, but there were trans kids in the meeting, and that was the toughest part, is to listen to some of the things that these adults were saying in their presence, and they just didn't care. No matter how much myself, there were 3 other social workers and a psychotherapist, and they didn't want to hear anything about us correcting.
Was this like an elementary or like middle school?
It was K through 12, the whole.
People are just not understanding.
I feel like people don't want to understand. Thank you for the sub. I feel like people are just so full of hate and they are okay with suffering. Which is why I'm not letting people off the hook today, which is why I'm letting people know point blank that they are just bad people.
And I think you need to continue this every day.
I definitely get in coddly mode every now and then, and I gotta stop that. TikTok forces some of that too. I'm sure if I run this live too long, TikTok will have its say.
You're also a genuinely good person, Adora, who cares about other people, and it's tough to turn that off, even when you're trying to advocate. So that.
We have a rare appearance from Hordak, guys. Hordak does not make appearances. Hordak's gone.
Wow, Adora, you were like, here's Hordak, and Hordak's like, you spoke.
Peace, love, whatever. I'm hearing that you are Caitlin. You still with me? Oh, Caitlin's back up. I see it right there in your bio. Caitlin, you're gross. You're very gross. Goodbye.
Hey, mental health matters.
If not to you,
wow,
you wouldn't. Never mind.
Come on, Hordak, come back up. Come play with the blood vial.
This is how I'm feeling right now. Pain. Agony, even.
Okay.
Happy evening.
How you doing today, Homers?
Oh my god.
I just wanted to say that, Adora, I think that you are a brilliant young trans woman. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I think that more people should wear muumuus.
Oh my god, you did.
I know
I'm just seeing
exactly
your
who
full
this
name
is.
now. I'm just seeing your full name.
Yeah, it's there. I actually bought my new Mel's Momo's Mumu from Mel's site that she sells the merch from, and it's brilliant.
I hope Mel is watching good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say how beautiful you are, and keep doing the good work that you're doing, and maybe one day I'll from England send you a new muumuu.
I need myself a moo.
I cannot.
Muumuus for life. Yeah.
Muumuus for life. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I agree with you there.
100%. I can't with your name. It's just such a tongue twister.
You just have to say it really. You just have to say it really fast. 3 times, like Beetlejuice.
Oh, but would that make you appear though in my room? I don't know.
No, I might just develop a new muumuu. I'm going to start selling this sort of merch on my page.
Okay.
I think
The
muumuus
Momo
will change
Mumu
the
merch.
world. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need a homo to do the homo muumuus?
Well, I don't like using that term. I think that's a bit vulgar.
Okay, okay. Understandable.
But yes, I do. I prefer Homer, not homo.
Okay. Question. For the people that can, does this guarantee pregnancy? Because I heard there was in this live, there was a person that said that they were 28 years old and they popped out 3 babies
Well,
just
yeah,
by
because
wearing a
there's no
muumuu.
restriction with the muumuu, and what happens is things just fall out, so you can't really get pregnant unless you're standing on your head. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
I stand on my head a lot though.
Well, for the you know, the gibbles.
Uh-oh, echo.
You know. Let's try again.
All right.
You know, for the gibbles, if no, I can't go there. I think it's too vulgar for the TikTok.
Oh, yeah, I don't think TikTok would like that either.
I don't want to talk about procreation or nothing like that, you know? Yeah.
True, true.
Well, I'm going to get off now. Not myself, but I'm going to take my muumuu off and get off the app for a while. Thank you for having me, Adora.
No problem. Thank you for coming up.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate your panel for not judging me for what I choose to wear.
Of course, we would never.
Of course not. Yeah.
Okay.
You have a good one.
Much love. Much love. Cheerio.
Bye.
I don't know how I got myself to stop laughing to get coherent talking points to that.
I need a mama fat mama.
Caitlin requested again.
Oh my lord.
Someone doesn't care about mental health at all.
My mental health is wanting to be away from you, Caitlin.
Mm-hmm. Well, I blocked her account, so she didn't hear that.
Eric, you started laughing, and then I started, and I was like, "Oh, I won't even be able to talk." I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. That was funny.
It was great.
Somehow my 20-minute nap turned into like 6 hours.
Oh.
Mine too. Yep.
Gotta love when those naps happen, right?
My mom and I went to a Greek festival and got dinner, and she didn't wake me up for dinner. It's so
How
sad.
rude.
Hello.
Hello.
How are
How you doing, Pedro?
Hello.
How old are you, please?
18.
Fantastic. What year were you born?
August 25th, 2006, 2008, 2005. Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous because I've been waiting for so long. I just wanted to ask.
It's okay. You're good. I trust you. Does trans suffering bother you?
Any suffering in the world bothers me. So.
Awesome. Are trans identities valid?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, it's America. If you want to be called a girl, you know, it's okay. Why not?
It's not a want. We are.
Oh, you guys okay? I'm sorry.
We are who we are.
Yep, indeed.
So, what were you looking to talk about?
So, like, I was in high school and I would just see a lot of these signs about transgender and stuff. My worries is like little kids, like 5-year-olds, 3-year-olds to like 8, like their minds are so bendable. And
Okay.
All
right.
They don't think they have a gender. Like they
So
can.
my patience is pretty light today. So I just want to stress to you that trans kids exist, and trans kids need access to gender-affirming care. They should not have to put up any amount of fight for that. They should just have to be able to go through the process and not worry about not worry about not having the care that they need. Because the unaliving ideation rate for trans children is extremely high, and what they need is the system that we have. And what they need to not have is us fighting to remove that system.
Yeah.
Because the system that we have works exceptionally well. It has a 97% success rate.
Okay. But like,
99.7.
so have you seen like those kids that are like 15, 16, they're trans, and then they have a little sister or brother that sees this, and then they just think that become transgender, even though if their sister or sibling was not like that.
Do you understand there's
I've
an
never heard
entire
of that before.
process, and even if that were the case, let's assume what you're saying is true, which is it isn't, but let's assume it's true. That a therapist like myself who are trained to spot things like that, and we're not going to allow a child to transition who isn't actually trans, that will come out.
Oh, yeah,
I think there's some
correct.
adults that are a little bit smarter than
That
just
that's
allowing
definitely
that
true,
to
but
happen.
it will happen, and it will cause them suffering because they will be very confused in their own identity and also be bullied. But
Tell me
also,
about
Also
one case
not
where it's
true.
happened. Tell me about one case where it's happened.
one case, pretty sure I've seen all these things about like this person who was trans for a while, and then they got older and they realized that's really not who they want to be, and they
Okay.
just went through all.
Okay.
That's
Pedro?
0.4% of
Right, yeah.
cases, and that's not what I asked you.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens, but it's exceptionally rare. Those people need access to their own gender affirming, to their own care. But generally speaking, once someone has started once I don't know how I'm trying to say this. If you go through the W path, if you go through that whole process, odds are you're transgender. Odds are exceptionally good that you are transgender.
But
And there's no harm in exploring your gender. There's none at all. Explore away.
to be honest, I'm not educated enough on this children part for me to keep arguing, so
Okay.
I'm gonna move. But also, another
You're-
thing is, I heard you guys talking a lot about bathrooms and stuff and safe spaces, which I totally understand why you would want to be like that. And I think it should. I wish the world was perfect and it could happen. But my thing is, if one of you guys, which is the transgender community, or ones who don't look as feminine, they could get into girls' bathrooms, that means any man could make himself
Stop.
any pedo.
This is a line of this is an argument that really makes me angry. Trans people are not a threat to cis people. There is no evidence whatsoever that trans people are a threat. There's plenty of evidence that cisgender men are a threat, but we don't have anyone advocating to remove cis men from society. So why is a problem that's being created by cisgender men a transgender problem?
Also,
Pedro, how old are you?
I'm 18.
18.
Yeah, you sure? Because I don't really, I don't think so, but
What year were
okay.
you born?
2005, August 25th.
Wait, what year you were born?
2005, August 25th.
Your volume is very low, Pedro.
Oh, I was born 2005, August
Yeah.
25th.
He's also a subscriber, and we wouldn't easily be able to subscribe without being 18 or older.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
This is the thing. It's definitely
Somebody
not,
messaged me something different.
it's not the transgender people I'm worried about. It's the men who could end up getting into.
Okay, great. So then let's. But that's what we're talking. We're talking about the trans people. We're not talking about people that we're not talking about other communities. We're talking about the trans community.
But by allowing
So
trans,
is it
No.
Is it your opinion that trans men should have to use?
Girl.
Hi. Is it your opinion that trans men should have to use the women's room?
Yeah, that's what it comes to.
Okay, so it would be like 10 times easier for a man to just walk in because number one, trans men are going to be using it because that's already some men. But then any cis man can walk in and say, "Oh, I'm a trans man,"
Yeah, they could.
and
do
they
that.
don't do any work to do it. So you're actually going to make it easier for them to get in.
I actually kind of confused what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if dudes who are turned into girls, as in transgender, can get into women's bathrooms with little girls.
Okay, it's not dudes turning into girls. First of all, Pedro, I need to cut to the bottom of this here. Are trans women women?
Biologically, no.
No, that's not straight up point blank. no extra words, are trans women women? Yes or no?
No.
Yes or no?
I'll call you a girl. No, they're not. Actually.
Okay. So what would it cost you to validate trans identities?
I already said if a girl wants to be called a girl, I'll call her a girl. If a boy wants to be called a boy, I'll call her a boy. But does not change the fact.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what would it cost you to allow trans people to access the spaces of our identities?
The possible chance of a little girl being raped by a.
Is there any data whatsoever to back that up? Any at all?
Obviously possible, because just think about it. Like, if any girl could go into any bathroom, any
Stop.
bathroom they want, then
I need data. I need data. I need a study that shows that this is an actual problem and not just made up by right wingers.
School. Transgenders are allowed in the bathrooms.
Transgender people. We are people.
What?
Transgender people.
That's not gender. You know what happens? And then I've seen just guys who, I'm pretty sure they're gay, so like they're probably not gonna hurt the girls in there. But
What's up, real quick, Trans Up? Adora, can you put me up real quick? Why do you want this man in the women's room?
I said that's why I don't want the trans in there, because that means that guy can get into the girls' room.
No, that's where you want to force him.
Yeah, you're advocating for this man to have access to women's spaces.
I literally am saying quite the exact opposite.
This is a trans man. So wouldn't it be, if this person is forced into the women's room by a law that has the same opinion as you?
Say that transgenders have zero threat to
Transgender people. Yeah, transgender people are the two lowest demographics for violent crime. Trans men and trans women, two lowest demographics for violent crime. So I'm not sure what you thought it was, but
hold on. What is more likely? That guy's allowed in the bathroom. What's more likely? Him or a male who make himself look like a girl in the bathroom? Who's more likely to commit the crime? Obviously not the trans, because you said it is a fact.
Trans person.
And we're not a book. We're not a thing. It's trans people. Thank you very much.
I'm not that good at the pronouns.
It's not a pronoun either.
Sorry.
You're forcing the man in a hot dogs box to go into a women's room, and you are forcing the woman in my box to go into a men's room. Does that make sense to you?
Does it make sense to you that a dude that looks like a girl can get into a girl's bathroom and rape a little girl? It's possible.
Holy fuck, Pedro! What is wrong with you?
Probably. Hold on. Let me.
Dude, this is what you want. This is what you are talking. This is what
Pedro,
you are advocating for right now. This
point
man,
blank, trans suffering does not mean a thing to you. You do not know how much it harms trans people to be forced out of the spaces of our identities, and you are trying to blame us for horrendous things that other people do.
I'm not blaming you guys. Just it's what would happen.
Yeah, you are. You literally are.
It's how the world
You
is.
literally are.
Like I'm saying, we don't live in a perfect world. You guys can't help
Yeah,
it. But
and you know what's crazy in this non-perfect world, that we trans people have been using the restroom with cis people for years and years now, but all of a sudden it becomes an issue, even though cis men have been the issue for years and years and years and years and years now, but nothing gets done nothing gets done to them. But we are the ones that are forced to suffer. My community suffers because cis men don't know how to keep it in their fucking pants.
Statistically, you are more likely to commit SA than I am, Pedro.
But it's just this thing is like, it's just too risky. Like if anyone was allowed,
Stop. There is almost no risk for when trans people have access to the spaces of our identities. There is exceptionally high risk to trans people when we are not validated and when we are kicked out of our spaces. literally, it causes so much suffering to my community when we are not allowed in our spaces.
Look, like that dude.
When we have to look over our shoulder, when we have to wonder, when like literally every time I come out of the women's restroom, I wonder if there's gonna be some guy there waiting for me.
Hold on,
Every time, every fucking time.
So, question: have you ever found anyone you could agree with on this bathroom thing that was not transgender or didn't have your view? Have you ever changed anyone's mind, or has anyone ever changed
Yes, I
your mind?
change people's mind every single day, every day.
Pedro, I don't think you were paying
What's that?
attention. Pedro, I
It's
don't
not
think
all
you were
about
paying
this,
attention.
but like
Pedro,
if they just made bathrooms that trans people go in, like they're doing that, for example.
Pedro.
What's up? Hold
Yeah,
on.
hi. What bathroom should this person go in? Because I don't think you were paying attention.
Bathrooms person go in? I mean, obviously that looks like a dude. It could get into the dude's bathroom. No one would know. So it's not
So
an
it's all about passing now. Do you not understand how harmful that is as well?
Hold on, Adora.
sucks.
It?
Matter.
Did you just say it?
Sorry, I was not trying to. He.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. There's no chance of us agreeing on this at all. But I think we
Yeah,
could.
Pedro, because you are okay with trans suffering. That's why there's no chance of us agreeing. You are okay with trans suffering.
Can you guys
I'm
agree
not.
that if there's bathrooms that were unisex that men and women could go into, that would
What?
solve it?
Why are you more concerned about bathrooms than people?
That is worrying about.
No. You're not concerned about people because trans people are suffering at the hands of cis people. Cis people are not suffering at the hands of trans people, and yet you're still more concerned about the comfort of cis people, despite the fact that cis people are not suffering at our hands.
Like I already said my point. I already got my point across. I already told you what I was gonna say.
No, you failed to get your point across, and now you're not listening.
If you not agree with it, that is okay. That is my opinion. We can move on.
No. We are not agreeing to disagree, Pedro.
But I understand where you're coming from, though. For sure.
Do you? Okay, where am I coming from?
So,
You're still very quiet. You got to come closer to the mic.
that trans people are not hurting anyone, and it's
Right.
the people that are doing it, so they should be allowed in there.
Do you agree that trans people are not hurting anyone?
Well, you guys stated some facts, so no.
What?
You agree?
Yeah, I agree because you literally told me a fact.
Okay,
I'm not-
fantastic. So if trans people are not harming anyone, then we should have access to the spaces of our identities because that helps us and hurts no one.
Yeah, but it does hurt some people because that means men who look like girls, who make themselves look like girls, can get in the
Holy
bathroom.
fuck, goodbye, Pedro. Good fucking
Wait.
bye. Okay, that is the end of this live, guys. I definitely do not have the ability to stay quiet, and I have an upstairs neighbor, so so it's time for this to end before I piss off my upstairs neighbor.
Feel bad.
The good news is I feel significantly less sick. It felt good yelling at people.
That's good. That's good.
How's your healing?
Seems to be going well. I'm pretty much in the itchy phase. There's definitely some like very mild pain. But yeah, everything's going well. They're slowly, very slowly softening up.
Yeah. Have you been
There's-
lotioning?
No, I haven't been. I should be.
You're gonna get stretch marks. You gotta lotion, especially around like the areola.
Interesting. There you go. Huh. Okay, I'll have to go out and get some stuff tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you all probably tomorrow morning if I'm feeling better than I am now.
Look at some non-irritating actives, like for skincare actives that help with stretch marks. I think alpha arbutin is one of them that you can just add into a lotion and it just bumps up a little bit of the efficacy.
it's hard for me to start any kind of new self-care routine that is not already part of my day-to-day. It's something that I've really, really struggled with. Something that I talk about with my therapist all the time.
Yeah.
I believe that you could do it though, Adora. You got this.
It's such a simple thing. It's such just go out and buy some bio oil, and it's a thing that I struggle with. It's funny the simple things that we can struggle with sometimes.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, I'm gonna log off. Thank you all for being here.
Bye, babe.
Love you all.
Get some rest.
Bye.
Bye.
Oops.